Okay, let's get into the videos. We've done the writing, we've done the work tape, the recording, made the album. Now, let's talk about videos. Well, let me just say this. I taught myself how to edit video on Sony Vegas. I suggest that all of you do the same. If any one of you is using a DAW for your multi-track recording, video editing is exactly analogous with that. So, I think you're cheating yourself if you don't teach yourself video editing. Get yourself a video editor, learn how to do it. It's exactly the same as audio recording. So, having said that, we thought, well, how are we going to do these videos? We don't have any money, very little money. What should we do? I had one thing in mind. I thought, okay, these are kind of funny songs. I want the lyrics on the screen so that people will get them the first time they watch them. So we came up with the idea of, you know what, maybe this is like a storyboard come to life. And so we were able to figure out a concept whereby we could get the lyrics on the screen. Now you'll see this in the videos if you stick around to watch them afterwards to see how that plays out. But we thought about, okay, this is how we can get the words on the screen. And in shooting the video, you always want to have a storyboard. So we created a basic storyboard. There's sort of a storyline as it goes by, so we knew what we might want to shoot. From that, we created a shot sheet. So if you do all these things, the whole thing is a lot faster and a lot cheaper. So what you'll see there is I have a check mark. We had 1 day to film this. We hadn't been on stage together in 10 years, this particular configuration of the band. So I knew we had to get it all in 1 day. It wasn't going to happen any other way. So you'll see 1 through however many we had there, 24 shots. And I had a check mark there, and I had a picture outlining what kind of shot we want. And you'll see 2 boxes there. One is a lock-off, which means it's on a tripod. The other is a handheld. So I had so you'll see number 1 is an individual shot locked off. So we knew exactly what we were going to do. And our director of photography knew exactly what he was getting into. So the day went very, very quickly. Now, we sorted out kind of what we were going to do. And that brings us to product integration. This is specifically why we're here today. About 5 years ago, Wally and I and my business partner Jay Stocco, we created a television show for Disney. And so, you know, we were with a big Beverly Hills agency, and they sent us to all the networks, and all we heard about was product integration, right? With time shifting, network is killing network advertising. So, video product integration is key. So we had a line in the song. Reliving our youth with brand new toys. And to me, that was all about the Sweetwater catalog. It was all about, you know, we want to buy new toys. There's a lot of things in there that didn't exist when we first started doing this many, many years ago. And so we had been Sweetwater customers for like a decade. And we love the Sweetwater brand. We love the customer service brand, the way they do business. And so I thought, you know what, I'll get some catalogs from these guys, and we'll integrate it into the video. So there's various slides on this. If you look at the top, you'll see Jason's phone number and extension right there, and his email. So I put some little Easter eggs in there. I also have a deal with Sony. For the last 5 years, Sony's been taking care of me, so I endorse their products, so I put them in there as well, just taking care of business. And you'll see, got the catalog in there. There's my Sony plug, right in there. There's the close-up of Pat, the Sweetwater brand there. And we put a picture of their social networking sites. And I would recommend that anybody do this. And here's how we did it. You don't ask for permission, you beg for forgiveness. So we just figured, you know what? I've been doing multimedia for quite a while, and you know what? You just can't run it up the bureaucratic chain. It just sounds too weird. Some guy calls up, I want to do a video with you guys in it, and they're like, well, what are you doing? It'll never work. So just do it. See if they like it. So what happened was I just, like Mike said, I sent it off to Jason, my guy. Never heard anything about it. You know, I thought in a perfect world, maybe they would put it in their website. Because what we were coming from the soap opera audience, right? We were a, quote, soap opera band. Well, midlife crisis for men didn't really resonate with our audience. I don't know why. But we thought, well, where could we access middle-aged musicians? Well, Sweetwater makes sense. Okay. So, hey, maybe they'll like it. You never know. Well, that worked out far better than I had ever anticipated, and it's all thanks to Mr. Mike Ross. So thank you, Mike, for sharing the vision. I appreciate that.
I also ask for forgiveness.
Okay, we better burn through this here. I think we're running out of time. Okay, now, here's a strategy for you. Instead of paying for one video, get two. All right, 2 for 1. Everybody understands that, right? This is the video for Let's Get the Band Back Together. You can see the kind of style that it's shot. There's Wally's pants fuming out there. That was the one special effect I did in the video. That's my son right there playing a mini-me in my telly. It's my son Brooks. This was basically an excuse to get my kid in the video. Again, no nepotism. We had to figure out, okay, you know what, how can we get 2 out of this? We had a break during recording, the filming of the video, and so I said, I got the guys together, I go, hey, can we run down tread on the tires real quick? Let's just run it down 2 times. They said, okay, they're willing to do it. So I ended up with this footage of another song. So I got 2 songs in the can, right? But I only have 2 takes of it. Normally you shoot many takes of a song to get a video. So what I came up with is, what should we do with this? Well, let's put this second video inside of a magazine. So we created a fictitious magazine, Midlife Crisis Monthly, an uplifting look at the downside of life. So see, you can see it's repurposing the same type of footage. It's shot exactly the same, but in an entirely different context. So that's how you get maximum value from this. Right? And again, I wanted the words on the screen, so we have the words in the magazine. There's a little male humor there. All right. Okay, here's how you maximize your content. Again, content is king, especially if you have limited resources. We wanted maximum content out of this. So, you can see on the left, Mr. Jim Yuskevich, who's in the crowd today. Where's Jim? Jim was very nice to shoot behind-the-scenes footage. He also played the police officer in the music video, Band Back Together, which, in fact, he is a police officer. So, we're doing dual duty there, so I recommend you get a videographer who is a police officer. And we had a still photographer. All the shots that you see of us were done the same day we did the video. We hired a photographer for $50. I felt so terrible at the end of the day, I gave her $75. She was so good. So you want to shoot stills. Basically, you want to do everything you can in one day. So if you can line this all up ahead of time, now you can maximize your time, because that's what we have so little of. Okay, marketing strategy. Okay. We wanted to put this story out, right? We made this album, we got these new songs, we got this concept. What's the marketing strategy going to be? Well, you know what? Getting the band back together is not a story. Nobody cares. Everybody's getting the band back together. That's just a typical Wednesday. Everybody does it. But what about a middle-aged band who got the band back together? They got essentially corporate sponsorship on a national level. Now that's an interesting story, and people like that. So that's what we ran with. We had a full page in Country Weekly. We never had a full page in Country Weekly, even when we were doing country music. But we're old guys, you know, like, oh, we'll give you a full page. I guess we survived, and they like that. So you can just see, like, a variety of press. I mean, we got tons of press on this whole thing, just because it was an interesting angle. So what I'm saying to you, what I'm suggesting is, what is your unique angle? Getting the band back together is not a unique angle. What's your story? Try and create a valuable story that is not out there that might make headlines. Okay, so in conclusion, I just want to say, you know what? This is all well and good. This is all strategy stuff, but you know what it really is? It was an excuse for old friends to hang out. That's really what this is all about. This is about guys getting back together. We grew up. Wally, I've known 22 years. Jim, I met in 1979. Pat, 1978, and as you can see, Lee in 82, and John in 2000. You know what I always say? Some guys have a softball league, some guys have a bowling team. We have a band, and that's how we get together. That's the way we can, you know, enjoy our friendships and travel around the country. And if for no other reason you get the band back together, you should do it for this reason, just for the camaraderie, because you know, time slips away. We get old, so that's the reason we've done this. That's the ultimate reason. We don't have any grandiose ideas like, you know, this is going to be some big break. We put that in the video as a joke, like this is going to be our big break. There are no big breaks for 40-somethings. You know what I mean? There's small breaks. We'll take them. Okay, that leads me to the conclusion. People say, well, what are you doing next? I have no idea. I got no clue what we're going to do next. But I do know that there are 3 stages of commercial artistry, and we followed them, and you all follow them, and the entire industry follows them. You create something. You write it. Started out in my bedroom. Hey, maybe I should write a song. 2, you produce that idea. You have to have something to take to the marketplace. 3, you do sales, which is, doing shows, doing interviews, doing internet marketing. Every David Letterman you see, whatever that guest is there for one reason, to sell you something. Every show is to sell you something, and they're in the sales stage. So I guess what I'm saying is, I don't know what we're going to do next, but I guess I'll just treat this like a waltz. Right? You guys play a waltz? When you get to 3, you start back on 1, right? So we're going to play one more song for you. This is the song called Band Back Together. And then we'll announce the winners, I guess, and then we're going to show you the videos. Thank you. Hey, where's my guitar, ready?
Thank you. Awesome.